Let's hold each other. Oh. What's up? We're back. Like, bum, 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 bum. What's up? We're getting started. There's supposed to be a press conference, supposedly, allegedly, coming up at 8 o'clock in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes Eastern. So let's see if it actually happens. Maybe I should have checked this before I jumped on. Camera's not turning on. What the? Hold on 1 second. There we go. All right, okay, we're ready. Oh no, that's not it. There we go. All right, so we got a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. And again, for folks who are just now joining us, we appreciate Lieutenant Randy Sutton, our law enforcement expert, for being on the line with us as the situation is now unfolding there in Palm Springs. And I want to put this on your screen if you're just now joining us. This was the breaking news that came into our newsroom here, that an explosion there has rocked Palm Springs in California, damage to buildings, and we've been watching some of that footage there as well as the active scene is happening and unfolding in front of us. We do have a few live vantage points, but a couple of local reporters who are there on the ground covering this story, and we're grateful to them because we have access to their cameras. We don't want to interrupt them while they're doing some of those live shots for their local stations. But again, if you're just now joining us, want to reset here and give you information about what we know. Police and firefighters have responded to this explosion that occurred today at a fertility clinic in the small town of Palm Springs there in California. The fertility clinic was damaged by this explosion, and currently this act is being investigated as a possible car explosion, according to two law enforcement officials who have been briefed on the matter. And they insisted at this point, according to the Associated Press, on anonymity to discuss some of these preliminary details and information from this ongoing investigation. At least one person is believed to be dead, according to one of those officials. But at this time, authorities have not disclosed a motive. So it's there from the Associated Press saying that they have spoken to two law enforcement officers who are a part of this very fluid investigation, saying that one person is believed to be dead. I have to ask you, Lieutenant.
I was muted. And here's what I'm wondering with this press conference that's coming up. I wonder if they're going to release the identity of this person so we can kind of get a little bit more information of who this is and what the possibility motive is behind this.
Randy Sutton still on the line with us here. How does this change the investigation when you know that there is a fatality? Are additional resources then brought in when it comes to loss of life, even just versus an explosion where no one was hurt?
Yeah, absolutely. So the loss of life kicks this investigation up a number of notches. And the determination has to be made: is this a victim? Is this a suspect? And that's going to be, a major part of this investigation. Some of the reports that we have.
Right. Exactly. That's another big question. Is that a victim that's deceased, or is that the suspect? Thank you guys for coming back. Appreciate you tuning in. Sparkling Jewel says, I think it's going to be announced what kind of attack. Yeah, I'm wondering. I hope they can get some type of preliminary information that'll give us a little bit of motive. What's up, everybody? People say 4chan has manifesto, but I don't see it. I'll have to look. 4chan, it's like sometimes there's fake stuff, sometimes there's real stuff. I wonder, but sometimes it is real.
Received is that this vehicle was parked outside of the fertility clinic. And that, of course, leads, one to conjecture. Does that mean that the fertility clinic was targeted, or was this individual who was in this vehicle, was that individual targeted? And, that is, car bombs have been utilized to murder people in the past, and that that is all part of the investigative process that is going to play out here.
All right, and I'm putting this up on your screens now. LA Times, they do have an article that they also just released, of course, talking about this. We do know what's most important is that the Palm Springs mayor, he told the LA Times via text message that he could confirm that it was a bomb in or near a vehicle parked at the building. One person is deceased. So we're continuing to get these breaking updates as information can be confirmed for us. And of course, we just want to continue to talk here to Lieutenant Randy Sutton. He's our law enforcement expert. With a situation like this, getting these confirmations, these officers and officials are all working in real time to figure out what's happening, but it's a lot of chaos as well. We've been having some of those shots there of the scene at this point. Again, we have some of those local reporters there in the shots doing live hits for their local stations, so we don't interrupt that. But we were watching Lieutenant Randy Sutton, the winds that were blowing that debris all over. It can still be a very difficult investigation, and it's amazing that we're getting some of these updates so early on.
Yeah, the fact that the mayor has declared this to be a bomb and confirmed the earlier information that we received that there is a deceased human being that is at the scene. That in and of itself shows that this investigation is going to be a very prioritized investigation. So the fact that they have already confirmed that is demonstrable that that they're certain about these facts, and that's no longer is it conjecture.
Absolutely. And so again, as I was saying, this is the live shot that we've been showing there of the screen of the scene there, the active scene. You can just see all of the enforcement there. We're trying to look a little bit further back. Our cameras are zooming in as far as they can at this point, but you can just see how far back all of those law enforcement officers are there on the scene, and some of that debris that we've been talking about as well. Again, if you're just now joining us here on Live Now from Fox, we do know that one person is dead there after this explosion that happened in Palm Springs in front of a fertility clinic. According to the Associated Press, who was able to speak with some of those folks there, the owner of the fertility clinic as well. We're watching here as our cameras as well, but they said that the owner of the fertility clinic said that no one inside that was staff was harmed in this, but you can still see some of these images coming into our newsroom. This now blowing down the street, spreading out the scene, very windy there in Palm Springs as well. So we've been watching here and watching to see what we can learn as well from some of these law enforcement officers. Want to put this tweet up on the screen as well from the FBI there in Los Angeles. Want to read it out for you, saying the FBI is responding with police and fire partners to the scene of an explosion on North Indian Canyon Drive in Palm Springs. The FBI assets are being deployed, including investigators, bomb technicians, and an evidence response team. Please contact local authorities for safety precautions in the area.
Okay. I'm scanning around to see if I can find where this thing is going to be, this press conference. There was a News Nation clip too. Maybe you want to take a look at that. Everything is Diddy.
A bomb exploded outside of a California fertility clinic. That blast happening less than a mile from downtown Palm Springs. We're bringing in News Nation national security contributor and former CIA and FBI special agent, Tracy Walder. Tracy, appreciate you joining us on this breaking news, and let's get right into this. We know this is being investigated as a possible car explosion. At least one person is believed dead. At the consultation area of this IVF clinic where they usually meet with patients was damaged. The actual lab, the embryos are unharmed tonight. Police are calling this an intentional act of violence. So already, Tracy, what is that telling you?
Well, thank you so much for having me. What this is telling me is that they know that this particular fertility clinic was the target of this attack. And in all honesty, it's quite easy to see from the helicopter footage, as this is the area that sustained the most direct impact. So it sounds to me that they know this vehicle was driven potentially with the purpose of destroying or hurting individuals that were within this facility.
And we are seeing video from the ground. We're also seeing that helicopter footage. As you are looking at the photos and video coming in of this scene, what is standing out to you about this blast? What is catching your eye?
Well, a couple of things. I think, first of all, this is a relatively urban area. This did not occur on sort of the outskirts of Palm Springs, if people are familiar with this location. I am happy that more people were not killed or severely injured as a result of this. It does look like windows have been blown out of, surrounding buildings within a mile or two radius or so. But the fact that other buildings did not sustain serious catastrophic damage is quite frankly a miracle.
Yeah, a miracle. The doctor who runs the clinic says, thank God today they happened to have no patients. Tracy, our fertility
so wasn't even anybody in there. No patients.
Clinics under threat. Could this be targeted? I mean, is that, it sounds like you're saying it absolutely, it was targeted, and police are saying as much today.
I've heard actually of fertility clinics being targeted. We hear a lot about abortion service providers, right, being targeted, particularly by the Army of God, which is a kind of domestic terrorism group, if you will. IVF clinics can also be a target as well for people that disagree with the process. There are IVF clinics that have security, have cameras, those kinds of things, because they are concerned about threats.
As investigators begin to piece this case together, what will we likely learn today? And we hear one of the witnesses who was in the nearby business who says, the entire building shook when this bomb detonated. They went outside. They could clearly see human remains on the ground.
I think the first thing they're going to do, at least in my opinion, is identify the victim, as well as there is a car very close to where the clinic is as well, that looks, for the most part, identifiable right now at this point. But I think those are the two things, in my opinion, that law enforcement is really going to focus on, particularly the FBI. If there's any salvageable, data devices, those kinds of things, it depends in a blast of this nature, what they may or may not have. But the FBI is going to be really, really interested in knowing, because this could be, and I don't mean to scare anyone, but it could be, a part of a larger network, or it could be a lone wolf.
A larger network? I'm thinking a lone wolf. Let's see what we got out there. Bop, 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 bop. Trying to see if we can scan. Let's see. Let's take a look. Okay, I found a stream. Hasn't started yet though. I have one stream for the press conference, hasn't started yet, so we'll keep an eye on that. Just want to make sure we don't miss it. Let me look for a on a backup too, okay, just in case. Always good to have a backup. Sometimes you'd be surprised, these press conference streams, sometimes they don't start and all the other ones launch and then you're just sitting there waiting.
We are looking at these photos, the video of the clinic, extensive damage there on the ground. What kind of device does your mind go to that could create such a powerful explosion?
That's an interesting question because, as you mentioned before, we're sort of hearing conflicting reports as to whether or not there's human remains near the scene or, a car bomb. If it is human remains, I suspect some kind of suicide vest because, yes, the damage is extensive that you mentioned. However, it looks like only the front of the clinic sustained most of the damage, as the doctor has really confirmed that all of the embryos are safe, and those are located further back. So what that tells me, and that's great news for these parents that may have embryos there, what this tells me is it's actually not as powerful of a device, which is why it could be a suicide vest kind of situation.
Okay. Tracy Walder, I really appreciate you jumping on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
One person dead after a bomb.
Huh? Oh, I have two, but they haven't started yet. They're just kind of sitting at the watch page. Let's see, maybe this works. Oh, we can watch here. We got live coverage. Let's check that out. Live coverage.
Off pieces of this building and others just flung into the street. We are taking a live look right now again at that area where this explosion happened. You can see again that debris just in the street, and smoke was seen from miles away as well from that explosion.
And you can see what remains of the car. We believe the explosives were held inside. It's just a crumpled, burnt out husk that we think was
this is crazy,
pushed from the force of this explosion from the building front to that little enclosure that houses a dumpster. All of the buildings in this parking lot were directly affected. We see the roof of several adjacent buildings. The shingles and the tiles have been shaken out of place. But really, most incredibly, is the secondary and tertiary buildings from blocks away in directions that weren't facing this explosion that saw such force and the concussive wave that just spread out from this explosion. As Air 7 circles back around, you can see this hotel here. The side of the hotel not facing the explosion, those windows completely blown out. This is on the pool side here of this hotel on the block behind this building. So if you go behind the building where this car was, over the buildings in the parking lot, across the street, into that building, and on the far side of that hotel, we saw explosions. If the camera can also pan up to the regional medical center across the street, there is a patio on the second or third floor, and the windows above that you see there have been shattered as well, and the glass now lining this. That again, across the street, past a parking lot, up several floors. The concussion wave of this was tremendous and did a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, you did a great job of explaining just how wide the damage really is in terms of from where this explosion happened. And we know that California Governor Gavin Newsom, he is aware of the situation. He earlier said that he is coordinating with local and federal authorities. We know that the FBI has responded with investigators, bomb technicians, and the evidence response team. They have been deployed. We also heard from Attorney General Pam Bondi saying we are working to learn more. And again, so many people responded so quickly to this. Palm Springs firefighters, Palm Springs police, the police chief, Andy Mills, he is asking residents that if they find potential evidence to please leave it in place. He says agents or officers will collect it. And I think that's important to note because, again, we see how far the damage, how wide the damage was done. You know, in connection to where that explosion happened and how far it impacted so many places surrounding that area.
Yeah, and I think we're on the wrong angle to see it now, but one of those buildings to the top of the screen now. On the far side of that, we saw car debris. It might have been a bumper from the car involved. You might be able to see it there in the parking lot, but there is debris in that parking lot. Car parts. I think that's one of the bumpers right there from the car, and just scattered debris around here. Now, the body was found on this side of the roadway. This is over on Palm
I hope
Canyon
East
Drive,
Coaster
which is
wasn't injured
the
while
main
giving his
thoroughfare
donation.
into the city of downtown Palm Springs. There is the body still
Thanks.
covered with that sheet lying in the middle of Palm
Thank you for the
Canyon
10 out
Drive.
of thrift.
The road where this happened on Indian Canyon Drive, if you know Palm Springs, if you're a resident or a visitor, you know is the northbound route through
Remain fully
downtown. So
secure.
it kind of splits from a two-way road into two separate one-way roads through downtown. Southbound is Palm Canyon and northbound is Indian Canyon. Well, both of those roads
East
are
Coaster.
affected here. This is happening on Indian Canyon Drive. That's where we see the debris field. Palm Canyon Drive, which is to the west, which is what we're looking at now at the foreground of this, is where we see the body. Again, not confirmed, but from law enforcement, they believe that could be the suspect, the bomber in this case. Now, how much had to be filled into this, looks like a small car, the amount of explosives that had to go into this thing to cause this kind of damage must have been tremendous, just packed with explosives inside this car.
Absolutely, and we know that
Thank you
at
for the
least
follow,
5 people were
defense.
injured
Appreciate
in
that.
this explosion. But the American Reproductive Centers, it was shut down today, so there were no employees inside at the time of this explosion. Thank goodness. And again, they mentioned that all eggs, embryos, and reproductive materials remain fully secure and undamaged.
Seems to me like an inside
remarkable considering,
explosion.
Again, the size
Inside
of
what?
this explosion. They also mentioned that they will be fully operational on Monday morning, and their team is available to answer any concerns you may have if you have a relationship with that center, if you have concerns. So they will be available to answer any questions or concerns that you may have.
Yeah, very lucky that this
here's
happened
it.
on the Saturday.
What's going on here? FBI.
All right, folks, let's get started. I'm
Let's
Lieutenant
go.
Mike Villegas. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Palm Springs Police Department. We will have 4 speakers today from the FBI, from the Palm Springs Police Department, Palm Springs Fire Department, and our City Council members. So first, we're going to start off with Assistant Director Akil Davis. He's from the FBI in Los Angeles.
Hey, we're on.
Good afternoon. As Mike just said, my name is Akil Davis. I'm the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI's Los Angeles field office. This morning at approximately 11 a.m. local time, our police and fire partners responded to an explosion at the 1300 block of North Indian Canyon Drive in Palm Springs, just behind us, a couple hundred feet. In addition to the FBI, Palm Springs PD, the Palm Springs Fire Department, and other agencies, including the ATF, Riverside County Sheriff's Department, Desert Hot Springs Police Department, Cathedral City Police Department, as well as the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, all responded to this incident. The FBI, which has an office nearby, responded with approximately 6 agents initially. Currently, 1 person who was near the vehicle is deceased, but at least 4 people are injured. I'd like to offer our best wishes to those injured and hopefully for a quick recovery. After my remarks, Chief Mills will provide a status on the injuries, as well as community safety and other road closure precautions. This explosion was significant, covering several blocks north, south, east, and west of the 1300 block of Indian Canyon. Roads are closed as there is wide debris field over 250 yards. The FBI's evidence response team is on scene right now, processing evidence, and will be here for a significant amount of time. Our bomb technicians are working with the post-blast scene as well to determine the origins of the blast. We are working to confirm the identity of the deceased, and we will provide that to you as soon as we can, but we are keeping that close hold in order to protect the integrity of the investigation. Make no mistake, this is an intentional act of terrorism.
Terrorism.
The FBI is investigating it as such. Our Joint
What?
Terrorism Task Force is here, working in lockstep with the Palm Springs Police Department, the ATF, and a whole host of agencies that I've already mentioned. If anyone has information regarding this incident, I urge them to call 1-800-CALL-FBI for any tips that might assist us in our investigation. Now I'd like to turn it over to Palm Springs Police Chief Andy Mills.
Can you state your name again, please, and your title really quick?
Yes, Akil Davis, Assistant Director in Charge, FBI Los Angeles.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Andrew
Most of you guys
Mills,
are right.
MILLS, Police Chief in Palm Springs. And I'm with me today is our Mayor Pro Tem, Naomi Soto, this side, as well as council members David Reddy, Jeffrey Bernstein, and Grace Garner, and our city manager, Scott Stiles. I'm really saddened by today's attack on our city. But I'm also hopeful, because this city will rise, and this city is resilient and will be strong as a result of this. I'm also extraordinarily grateful for my partners at the FBI who were here almost immediately. I called Assistant Director Davis, and he happened to be in town, and he came over here, leaving his other appointment, to make sure that we had every resource we need. I can't thank you enough, Assistant Director Davis. I'm also grateful for every other agency in the region here. Desert Hot Springs, Cathedral City, and the Sheriff's Office all sent officers immediately to help us, and as well as the fire department, who was on scene shortly after the blast. We have a rapidly evolving investigation with a massive crime scene. Our first priority was to ensure the safety of our community, and we were very concerned about secondary devices, and so we spent a lot of time and effort working with the Bureau as well as the Sheriff's Office, clearing the entire neighborhood, making sure that there was nothing that could harm our citizens any further. But now the real labor starts. With the FBI's field evidence response team as well as our detectives, this is going to take a great deal of time for us to process this scene. And I need to just communicate two things with our community. One, please be patient. There are blocks of debris, and it'll take a meticulous effort to make sure that we get every piece of evidence so we understand very thoroughly what happened, and so people are going to need to be patient with us. And the second thing is, if they find pieces of evidence in their yards or in their homes or in their side of their homes, please leave it there where it is. Give us a call, the non-emergency number, and we will do what we can to come and get it as quickly as possible. I also want to make sure that our community understands this is an isolated incident. I am confident that the community is not at risk any longer. So we will continue to process our investigation. We are moving as rapidly as possible at multiple locations, and we are doing everything we can to make sure we understand the why as well as what happened. Finally, for me, terrorism came knocking on the door of Palm Springs. We survived. And I can tell you that this city will rise and be more effective as a beacon of hope than before. Now I'm going to turn it over to Fire Chief Paul Alvarado.
Sure.
I'm Paul Alvarado, ALVARADO, Palm Springs Fire Chief. I first want to acknowledge the horrific incident that our community and city went through this morning. And I want to assure you that the Palm Springs Fire Department arrived swiftly. Our first fire engine arrived in under 1 minute to find a well-involved building that's impacted by structural collapse. Our firefighters extinguished the majority of the fire before having to back out because of the collapse issues. We're working closely with our public safety partners to ensure the community remains safe, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Do you believe that the person who is dead is the suspect?
This is still under investigation, and
What?
I can't make that
Shit, you
conclusion
better
at this
find
time.
out.
So it's possible the suspect is not either dead or in custody.
I'll let our law enforcement partners speak more to that, but I cannot comment on
What you
that.
trying to say? He's alive?
Speaking in Spanish?
Hey, folks, let's wait till
No,
the
we
end
ain't
of
doing
this press
Spanish
conference.
today.
We'll get some questions. We got two more
Spanish
speakers,
shit.
and then we'll get to some questions.
I'd like to turn it over to Mayor Pro Tem Naomi Soto.
Good afternoon. My name is Naomi Soto. I'm the Mayor Pro Tem here in the city of Palm Springs. This morning is a terrible tragedy. We have one person killed, several others who have been hurt, and our heart goes out to everyone who has been impacted and their families. I want to acknowledge that the building that was damaged is a fertility clinic, and this is a place of hope. This is a building that people go to start or expand their families. We acknowledge their pain and concern across the community. For the ARC patients and staff, this is a building where hope lives, and we are confident it will continue afterward, as their meaningful work must continue. I also want to thank our first responders who ran towards the scene immediately and without delay. They responded and ran towards an unknown danger. Thank you to our brave fire department and our police department. And thank you to Police Chief Andrew Mills and Fire Chief Paul Alvarado for their leadership today during this tragedy. And I also want to thank out to all the different offices who have reached out to offer their support and resources, including Governor Gavin Newsom, Senator Alex Padilla, Congressman Ken Calvert, Senator Rosalie Ochoa-Bo, Assemblyman Greg Wallace, and all of our staff across so many departments who have stepped up today, including our council members and our city manager, Scott Stiles. It's been a hard day. There are several more hard days of work, but as the police chief mentioned, we need our community's patience as we move forward these next few days. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to open it to just a few questions. Sir?
Can you verify again, the person who died, is that believed to be an innocent victim, or is it the suspect? And if it is an innocent victim, what do we know about the person who did this? Are they remote? Are they maybe incinerated in the car?
Understood. It's a very good question, and I'm sure you guys will want those answers, and we will provide them for you as soon as we can. At this moment, this is what I'm willing to say regarding that. This is an ongoing investigation. We are not prepared to comment on that at this moment. We're not prepared to provide any additional comments on the relationship between the decedent and our person of interest.
Why would you be certain that there is no threat to the public then right now or risk?
We have an ongoing investigation, and further comments will compromise that investigation.
Was the clinic targeted?
We believe so, yes.
And you mentioned terrorism. Is this domestic terrorism?
I'm going to say this again. This was an intentional act of terrorism. As our investigation will unfold, we will determine if it's an international terrorism or domestic terrorism. No matter which one, the Joint Terrorism Task Force is the lead on this, and we will find that out.
As for the explosives, do you believe that this was some type of explosive that was made maybe at home, or is this something that was sophisticated, the operation? What can you say about that?
I can't say much about that right now because it's ongoing.
And based on your experience, what is the amount of explosives that can fit in a car?
I'm sorry, sir. Can you ask that again?
Based on your experience, what would be the amount of explosives that you can fit in a car to create this much damage blocks around?
Let me be clear. This is probably one of the largest bombing investigations that we've had in Southern California. It's on scale of the Aliso Viejo bombing in Orange County.
Tori King, News Channel 3. Is there a second location in 29 Palms off Adobe Road? We've heard there's a police presence out there. Is that connected to this potential bombing? I'm
not prepared to provide those comments at this time.
A witness found a tripod with a camera as if it were being live streamed. Have you heard this? Is that something you're investigating?
I have, and yes, it is something we're investigating.
What? They were live streaming this shit? They were watching?
Sir, at this point in the investigation, had the clinic received any threats prior to this incident?
Not that we're tracking.
So is there or is there not a suspect you're looking for?
We have a person of interest in this investigation. We are not actively out searching for a suspect.
Maybe that's to confirm the identity.
That answer your question?
Is that person of interest in custody?
All right,
no
folks,
comment.
We're going to conclude the press conference. We plan to do something later. Okay, as we get more information, we'll be able to release more information. So right now, that's all we have right now with our press conference. We're concluding it. Thank you.
Another one.
Thank you.
I will contact. I will reach out to our media outlets to let you guys know when the next press conference.
Do you have anybody in Spanish?
Another press conference.
Do you think they'll be here?
We can try to answer your questions.
I think there's like 3 of us.
We're only going to answer clarifying.
Wow, Mamma Mia. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? Oh, my gosh. I gotta fix this stuff. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? That's crazy. So he said it's a terror attack. Definitely confirm terror attack. And whether it's domestic or international remains to be seen. It's just weird that they won't be like, is there somebody out there? Is there not somebody out there? Is this the person? Is it not? They don't know. I think they suspect the suspect is deceased, but they have to confirm the body. But also, they don't know if there's other people involved. And then they mentioned two things during this presser. Check your email. Okay. All right. Oh, shit. Check your email. Check your email. I'm checking. Let me check the other one. Okay. I don't see you sent the email. Let me check the main email. I don't see an email. Nobody wants you to check your email. I checked. Oh, there it came up in spam. Your thing came up in a spam message. Okay, that's weird. Here's his manifesto. Hold on. What's this? They got a YouTube page? Hold on, let me download this before if this is really him. Is this him? Naomi, can we get you on the phone? Where'd you get this from? Let me get this video first. I'm gonna email you back. It's interesting. Google flagged you. They didn't want you to send that email. Hold on. I'm gonna email you the Google Voice number. I want to reply back to you, see if you want to call in and tell me where'd you get that stuff from, what you know. Pro-lifers. Pro-mortalism. What? This is crazy. Two years ago. Shit, we're gonna have to download the whole channel. Actually, let me do that real quick before they take the whole shit down. Download the channel. We'll download the whole channel right now. 45 videos. In case this is really the person. Alright. So I sent you an email with the phone number. If you want to call me. Just so I can ask you about this. Your husband said, wow. My husband said it, wow. Shit. So I sent you, let me look on Twitter, see if they're saying anything about this guy, but let me, I want to know how she got this information. I don't want to just play some dude, but I am downloading the video in case.
Yeah. So, we're gonna talk about pro-mortalism and we'll be doing some responding to this dogs outside. Responding to some of this, the Exploring Antinatalism podcast. It's with Emma.
I don't know. Some people were leaving them comments. Let's look in the world of Twitter. I don't see nothing about this though. Da, 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 da. So it was interesting that they were saying that there was some type of tripod with a camera set up, and so somebody was like there waiting to record or live stream. And then also they said there's another incident. Maybe I should put up ABC if they're still live. They said there's another area, like another incident they're looking at. Big cow. Naomi, you gonna call? Call me. Call me. Call me now. I'm looking at this page and I'm just gonna have to verify. I guess she ain't calling. Why not call? It came from a spam message. It was kind of weird. It came from a spam message. YouTube flagged you. Google flagged you. It's urgent. She sent me 2 email or 1. Oh shit, she's calling. Oh shit, you guys ready? Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you, man?
Good. Okay. First of all, don't say the channel yet. Don't say the name. But where did you find this? Where are you getting this from?
Okay. So without going into too much detail, so I do investigative work. That's what I do.
Okay.
So I have ways to find information on the underside of the internet, but it is circling on 4chan. It was circled earlier,
really?
and then also on Kiwi Farms, and then yeah, and as you can see, like on the top of his manifesto website there, like it has that he'd be live streaming it today, right? So he has that information at the very
on top of his website.
Yeah, he goes, "I'll watch me live today," or whatever.
Free MP3. You download it. Oh, I'm even afraid to open this shit. I don't know what the hell this is.
Okay, so I figured I would just make a recording explaining why I've decided to bomb an IVF building or clinic. Basically, it just comes down to I'm angry that I exist, and that nobody got my consent to bring me here. And I know what you're going to say. How could we have got your consent because you didn't exist? Blah blah blah. Exactly the point. There's no way you can get consent to bring someone here, so don't.
So there's like on this website there was an audio uploaded, some MP3. It says May 1757 at 6 p.m. The bombing happened way earlier than that, no?
I know. I don't know if he had it set to like upload at a certain time. And then because he has backups of his site on that page as well in case it gets erased. And then he links his friend's Reddit as well on there. But he links his YouTube on there. And that's the video he links.
Right. What is Promoterless? What the hell is that?
So it's basically like, long story short, it's just wanting everyone to die.
Wow.
Like they're usually like heavy vegans and they're just anti-life. It's like the extreme version of antinatalism.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I
So if you go on his
downloaded his
YouTube
whole
video,
page. I downloaded the
I
whole
think
YouTube
this is. I mean, if I'm wrong, you can publicly humiliate me.
No, I won't do that. I won't do that. But I downloaded his page because if it does turn out to be him, I know they're going to scrub it.
Yeah, they are.
So,
maybe that's why they like recognize me as spam when I sent it to you.
yeah, it got thrown you. I couldn't even find you, 4chan. So they're talking about this on 4chan. I'm going to have to research this.
Yeah, and
Very
then
strange.
so
So you believe it's this guy?
I do. Yeah, and people are giving it credence on these forums. So I don't know. Apparently, he did it because his friend took her life, and he can't live without her. But if you look at that linked YouTube I sent you, that's the one he tells everyone to look at if it is him.
That video's from 2 years ago, though. That he.
I know.
Interesting. Very weird.
I'll eat my shoe if I'm wrong, but.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I don't know what to do with this. I guess I want to hold and wait. Oh, he put a.
Well, I just wanted to give it to you right now so you could download it in case they scrub it and it is him. Yeah, I really wanted you to hop on it.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I downloaded the whole. It's 14 gigs. I downloaded the whole YouTube page and that video. So thank you. I'm gonna definitely keep an eye on this and see.
Yeah, I hope it is him. And
so what's your theory? This dude just blew himself up because the girl he liked.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I work law enforcement investigations up here. So, like when you look at things, like I do a lot of investigative pieces, like for the cops that can't do their own investigations. Up here in Canada, it's really different. Right. So the fact that he targeted this place when no one was there, like that just goes, like you start striking things off, right? Like, so obviously he wasn't trying to kill anyone. Right. And then you look at the messaging, like what's the messaging? He tried to blow up like, embryos and stuff, right?
Right.
So if someone is this pro-mortalist, they're obviously going to make a message like, kill all the embryos, like, because they don't want anyone to live. Yeah.
That's really weird. I see like 3 people that have commented on this video too recently.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "Start with yourself. Sorry, do not redeem the fertilized embryos. You're shitting on the streets in hell right now." But some people are kind of, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. But I just wanted to have
people
it.
Lose themselves in this shit. I don't know how they become like what do they call this thing? A pro-mortalist. How do you become a pro-mortalist? What is this shit?
I think it starts. I think it starts with veganism, man.
Yeah, I know. They always kind of, well, not always, but a lot of them are kind of crazy. They get really mad at me when I say that, but they kind of they get nutty. I don't know if it's the agitation from not eating properly and stuff. I don't know. I think they kill you for that.
They need meat, man. They're weak and they're yeah.
This is crazy. All right, so I'm gonna remember you. So if this comes out, or if I see this page is deleted, and the whole thing is wiped, I'm gonna know, and then we're gonna have to watch every video. Probably, I don't know if I'll be able to watch it on this channel, but we'll watch it somewhere else.
Make sure you download the backup of his website as well. He gave a backup link or a zip file. Download that.
Okay.
Just in case.
You can download the recorded stream of my. Oh, he says it here. That's so crazy. You can download the recorded stream of my unaliving and bombing of an IVF clinic. That's crazy because they did say they said there was a tripod with a camera on it.
Yeah.
In the download directory, you should be able to see and find an MP3 file where I explain. But basically, I'm a pro-mortalist. explains what this is quite well. Also, here's a backup I made of his channel. So he made a whole backup in case it ever gets taken down. Please download it just in case. The video I'm referring to is from 11/2/2022. Oh, that's the video you sent me. Okay.
Yeah.
Pro mortalist, so you're just pro psycho killers. No, understand your death is already a guarantee, and you can thank your parents for that one. So he's just upset they're even born. All
Yes.
a pro mortalist is say, let's make it happen sooner rather than later, and
Yes.
preferably peaceful rather than some disease or accident to prevent your future suffering, and more importantly, the suffering your existence will cause to all other sentient beings. This is wild, man. Wild. I gotta find out how to save the whole website too.
I think he has a zip file on there of the backup of his website. So I downloaded it already.
So here's my thing too. Okay, so I'm looking at this
Yeah.
website, right? And he mentions this person's name, but he says this person explains what this is quite well. So he mentions this guy's video, but I don't know if that's him in the video. He's referencing the person saying that this is what a pro mortalist is. Did you read that part?
think, yeah, but then if you go on his name and then you do a little digging on his name, because he goes by the first name and then ELIF, which is Elifism, which is basically lifeism backwards. It's so stupid. But that name's been going around is his first name that he's posting there under.
And then he's linked other YouTube channels at the bottom of this too.
Yes, so that movement, like the right to die or whatever.
I can't believe this is a thing. I've never heard of this shit.
Yeah,
this is an
it's
actual
huge.
movement. These people just don't want to live, and everybody
They
should
don't
be
want to
dead.
live. Yes, it's very radical. It starts with veganism, though. Like, seriously, they're all vegans.
I'm just like taken back. This is crazy. I never even heard of this.
Like, there's two Reddits that he was probably on. One is Circle Snip, and I forget the other one, but I think they're linked at the bottom of his page. And he talks about how his friend posts on Reddit and Tumblr about the movement.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Wow. Thank you so much for sending this. It is interesting. I want to know more about this website.
I mean, look at what it says on the top. I mean, right?
If you don't know who is, I'm gonna look. Who is?
I don't have that in Canada.
You guys don't have that? The website lookup shit? Who
No,
is?
man.
What the hell? What's wrong with this?
It's cracked up here. What?
Name, server, register, Pork Bun LLC. Hell? Oh, he has his thing protected though. He does have his.
Oh, does he?
It looks
Because I was like, what if the website was made just today? Then I would just like worry about
That's
that.
what I was
right?
trying to
But-
find out. That's what I was trying to make sure. Like somebody didn't just pop this website up or edit it and just add that information and troll everybody.
Yeah, because edgelords do that all the time. Yeah.
This was registered in February 2025. So it's been up for a few months. Expires to 2026. Updated in February.
Ooh. Oh, that's not good.
So it wasn't made just today. Organization Private by Design. LLC Private by Design is the organization it says. Wow.
This is jokes, but not really.
Damn. This is some weird shit. I feel like I could just end up going down a rabbit hole with this.
I hope I'm super wrong, but someone in your chat thinks that I'm in on this, and I'm not.
No, they're always gonna. Yeah, people are gonna think that. Think you're a part of it. I'm just shocked that I didn't know this was a movement, man. This is like this guy. Wow, and he linked
It's a
other
big
channels
movement.
of people that are into that believe
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah, it's very radical, man. Like, I don't think you want to know about it.
I guess I'm gonna listen. I wonder if there's a way to inspect this MP3 file. I don't really know.
I don't know. You have the computers. I don't. So you probably can without viruses, right? Like, you probably have the capability to do that.
I mean, I do have an antivirus, but I mean, if they're good, this was created. Oh no, it probably says it because I just downloaded it. Never mind. That's not the right information. Okay, it's a 30-minute audio. I guess we could just listen to the audio and see. I don't know. I don't know what's on this audio.
I don't either.
30 minutes. All right, look, I guess that we'll listen then. All right, well, thank you so much. Just stay in contact then if you can.
Yeah,
I have
man.
your email, and yeah, I appreciate it. Have you listened to the audio yet or no?
No.
Okay. We're gonna listen
I'll
and
leave
see
that
then.
up to you.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Okay, man.
All right, appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Yep. Peace out. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, I had her call the Google Voice because I didn't know who it was, and just trolls online sometime, and she called Block too, which is smart on her end. And so there's this website that I'm like kind of suspicious of. So, but the website's been registered since February, that I can see. And this website at the top, the thing that makes me kind of, I don't know, because there was another situation. I forgot what it was. This guy said I have a YouTube channel and I'm going to release the information. Remember that? There was like a countdown and it turned out to be like a fake thing. So I don't know if somebody just went and edited this real quick and put this up. And it says here you can download the recorded stream and bombing of an IVF clinic. Please do redistribute and upload wherever you can. This website won't be stale for long. I don't know. I really don't know if this is real or not. Guess we'll listen. Let's listen a little bit and see.
Okay, so I figured I would just make a recording.
And that definitely doesn't sound like the guy on the YouTube page. It says you should be able to find an MP3 where I explain, but basically I'm a promoter list. This YouTuber explains it quite well. Also, here's a backup I made of this channel. The end goal is for the truth to win, and once it does, we can finally begin to process the sterilizing this planet of the disease of life. I just can't even believe there's people out there like this, yo. This is crazy. Life can only continue as long as people hold the delusional belief that it is not a zero-sum game, causing senseless torture and messes it can never. I don't know. All right, let's listen.
Explaining why I've decided to bomb an IVF building or clinic. Basically, it just comes down to I'm angry that I exist, and that nobody got my consent to bring me here. And I know what you're gonna say.
Wasn't there a guy that sued because he was born or something?
Hey, how could we have got your consent because you didn't exist? Blah blah blah. Exactly the point. There's no way you can get consent to bring someone here, so don't fucking do it, right? And if you're gonna try to say something really fucking retarded, like, well, since you don't exist, you don't have a consent status, and therefore we don't have to get consent. This really isn't any different from saying, oh, well, the girl's unconscious, so I can't get her consent to have sex with her, so therefore it's okay because I can't. There's no way to even ask for the consent, right? So I mean, if you actually think that's a good argument against what I've said, right, you're absolutely retarded. Your brain, it's very childish and retarded, right? And before you say, ooh, that's ad hominem, I said the word retard. No, I made an argument, and then I called you a retard, fucker. So it's not ad hominem. Ad hominem is when someone just name calls, and that's it. That's what ad hominem is, fuckhead. You people some of you motherfuckers are just too fucking stupid. Okay, anyways. So, yes, the point is, obviously you get people's consent to bring them here, so don't do it. It's that fucking simple, right? This is not complicated logic. This is not complicated ethics, okay? So, anyways, alright, so I have written some things down here. I tried to kind of order them in a way that makes sense, just because I have a lot of things to say, and yeah, so hopefully there's some order to my little work.
Yeah, people are talking about I see multiple people on Twitter talking about the website now. Okay.
Recording here, but anyways, so yeah, so the reason I'm wanting to get the fuck out of this whole life game is basically, I guess it comes down to I'm not interested in being a life addict, right? So I really never wanted to do this life drug. And I remember, like, when I was a kid, people just trying to I mean, my whole life, really, people have always been trying to push this life drug onto me. You know, people try to push experiences onto me, like, hey, let's, go to a concert or some bullshit. It's always something, and I'm always saying, no, not interested, not interested. And, people are, for some reason, like, people just can't fucking take no for an answer, when it comes to this shit. It really isn't any different from, like, kids pushing drugs or smoking on some other kid or whatever. It's not really any different from this, except in this case it's more like fucking heroin. It's a much worse drug. And also, yes, life is a drug. It really is very analogous to a drug. I know some of you assholes are gonna get all triggered at me saying that, being negative, about life. But I mean, think about this. If you sit around and do absolutely nothing, like literally nothing, right, you're going to become very miserable pretty quickly, right? And the reason for this is that the default state for you is deprivation, right? And this is how life gets you to chase things, right? And yeah, that includes literally even drinking water, what we would call basic needs, right? Your brain gets you to chase things. That's really what's going on, right? And the shit that, we're chasing really is stupid, right? This whole evolution thing, life thing, is not an intelligent design,
People just got like too much time on their hands. Like, maybe you should have went to a doctor or some shit. Like, what the hell is this?
When you see innocent creatures getting completely fucked by life, I'm not just talking humans, but even animals, right? How the hell can you sit there and call that an intelligent design? It clearly isn't. It's a completely absurd thing to call life an intelligent design. It's clearly not, right? It clearly is just something that happened because it could, right? The circumstances were just right to where it could happen, and it did happen. Evolution isn't really doing anything on purpose, right? It's just evolving. It's just happening. That's it, right? So it's not intelligent, and that's why I use the word stupid a lot in reference to the shit people are chasing, the shit people are doing, and what life is doing. It's stupid. I'm not saying that just because I'm upset about it. I'm saying that because I've thought about it, and I think the word stupid really does apply, okay? I tend not to use language too loosely, so... Okay, so, all this just to say, life itself really is just, it's a big drug addiction, right? It's just chasing absolute nonsense, and I've pretty much seen this since I was a kid. I've pretty much known it since I was a kid. As a kid, I wasn't able to put words to it, but some part of my brain kind of understood it, right? Because I really wasn't very interested in anything. I really didn't want much, and as I've gotten older and older, more aware, I've started to realize, like, oh, this is a really nasty game. This life on Earth game is really nasty. It's causing tons and tons of harm. It is a zero-sum game. Is that what it's called? Zero-sum game? Did I say that right? Hopefully I said that right. Basically what I'm trying to say is, since the default state is deprivation, basically you're being whipped constantly, okay? And the best you can achieve is not being whipped, right?
So, okay, what is a pro mortalist? A pro mortalist is someone who believes that death is always better than life, or more extremely, that it would be better if people did not exist at all. It's often considered a more radical offshoot of antinatalism, the hell, which holds the bringing a new people into existence is morally wrong. So an antinatalist, it's wrong to create a new life because life involves suffering. Pro-mortalist, not only should we not create new life, even existing life should be better off dead. So there's like two, I guess pro-mortalist is like the next level, the next extreme. Pro-mortalism isn't exactly popular at parties. It's more of a fringe philosophical position often used in ethical debates to challenge assumptions about the value of life and suffering. Most people reject it because, well, people generally enjoy being alive. Wow. That is, I did not know that was a thing. I sincerely did not, and so it seems like maybe it almost sounds to me like somebody's depressed or something. because there's still so many beautiful things in life and experiences. I mean, I've thought about it, like when you pass away, what happens, right? If there's really nothing there, then what is it all for? I guess it's just the experience of life in the moment. Okay, they dropped the name. They dropped the name. I might have to get that chick back, the one that emailed me, Naomi. If that's her real name. So this chick is here saying, Carol says the suspect in the fertility bombing guy's name is Guy Edward Barticus. The hell's that? No wonder. Guy Edward Barticus. 25 of 29 palms. He left a rambling message about how he never consented to being born. Dang, can we get a picture? So was he didn't want to hurt nobody, he just wanted to hurt himself? 29 palms. Can I do, let me see if I can do a little background. Naomi, if you're watching, give me a call back. I clocked back into the thing. I'm just kind of, did you get that name? Did you look that up? I know you guys in Canada, maybe in Canada you can't do that either. Let's keep listening.
Satisfying your needs and your desires, right? And which again really is just the whip being taken away, right? So as in Mendham, Gary would say, there is no carrot, there's only the whip. Okay. It doesn't intuitively make sense when you think about it. Like when I first heard him say shit like that, I totally didn't believe it. I was like, no. Like there's certain things that are just like pleasurable on their own. And but as I thought about, over the week after, the week after I heard him say that, I just started thinking about things, and I started to realize, like, no, it's
Anonymous made a good point too. No. X, he said that, okay, so it's pro-mortalism is a philosophy that is best for any mortal living being to die as soon as possible. They want humanity to go extinct. So I guess it makes sense that they wouldn't like a fertility clinic. That makes sense. Yeah, that's true. Maybe he was hoping to kill off the embryos and whatever else to stop them from existing.
There really is no like fundamental like good, it really is all made of fixing bad things, fixing deprived states and whatnot. It's really interesting, and it's really unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. So anyway, so yeah, zero-sum game, because like I said, the best you can do is clean up messes, and we can't even really do that well. I mean, you look around, we're not doing that.
Thank you, Amy.
So we again, another thing Gary would say is like, you spill the milk and then you clean up a small portion of it and then you pat yourself on the back. It's really, I mean, life really truly is completely fucking absurd, right? And to anyone who's like aware of these facts, intelligent, whatever, it's the more and more you become aware of this shit, the more miserable life becomes. It's just like, oh fuck, this is really bad. You start to see all the harm, and it's so nasty. Anyways, so and then I basically, most people just really aren't in any position in life to do much about it, and so basically you're just going to live life as a slave, really. I mean, people don't like it when I use this word, but that's just the way I see it. I don't know what to say. Like, I really do just see existence as a kind of slavery to a DNA molecule, basically. That's really all it is. And so I'm just saying maybe you're not miserable. Okay, fine, whatever. But a lot of people are, okay? And, it's wasted suffering. There's so many people, there's so many creatures, really, I should say, because it's not just humans that are important. It's, all the other sentient beings on this planet are also just as important, okay? So much wasted suffering, right? So much suffering that occurs, and for no, benefit. It's just a complete waste, and it's sickening. It really is sickening. So Yeah. Okay. So, just I'm doing all this explaining just for the people who don't get this shit. Like, this is all really important shit.
Why is it important if life is purposeless for you and you shouldn't exist and you off yourself anyway? What is the point? I mean, I guess you're trying to say what's the point of life. But what is the point of you putting this message out? For what? Does it matter in any way? According to you, why would you put this out? Why would you do this? I don't know. I guess it's kind of hard to understand where somebody like that comes from. And if this is really him, this 25-year-old person, is a young guy. Man, you have so much time to figure shit out, get your life together, so many things you can enjoy. I would have said have kids, but that's not in your thing, I guess. And God, maybe that's for the best. I'm trying to see if we can kind of confirm this guy's name, and I did look up the address. What this lady put out there. It says this is 25 years old. He has a YouTube page. YouTube page. Oh no, it says the video is not available anymore. 2 videos not available anymore that are privated. He had a website, ObamaPranksHomestead.com. I don't know if this is really this guy, but very weird. Very weird.
Okay, what else did I have written down here? I wrote down suicide prevention is people trying to push life on you, and is analogous to peers pressuring you to try drugs. Okay, I kind of already said this, but I didn't say the suicide prevention part. But yeah, suicide prevention really is just that. So people trying to prevent others from killing themselves, especially if the person has like a peaceful way of doing it, right? And you try to prevent them from doing it. You're just pushing life on them, which again is a drug. So you're just pushing drugs on people. So fuck that. Absolute nonsense. Another little thing I wrote down, really interesting point that I've not heard anyone else make. It's in regards to mass shooters and mass killings and whatnot. And I was thinking to myself, there's an organization called the Violence Project. I believe that's what they're called. They have a lot of interesting data on mass shooters. And something interesting they found, really common in mass shooters, is that they have a suicidal crisis before they become before they start thinking about killing people, right? They have some kind of suicidal crisis. This is fairly common, right? Not all of them, but pretty common. And I was thinking to myself, you really probably would really would prevent a lot of mass shootings if you gave them the right to a graceful exit, the right to die, right? And I'm not talking about the fake right to die that we have now, okay? Which isn't even really a right, because other people have to decide for you, so it's not even really a right.
Man, this is really dark.
And the people that do get it, obviously they have to be like very terminally ill and all this bullshit. It's not a right. It's nonsense, right? They've passed it in a very, very, very restricted and minimal way so that they can bullshit people and say, oh, look, we have the right to die, when no, we absolutely fucking don't, okay? And I could get into this whole topic, but I will in a minute. But the main point, back to the mass shooter thing, right? I really do think if we had an actual right to die in the U.S., right? Right to a graceful exit, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You probably would prevent a good chunk of mass shooters. So yeah.
Why do they have to go out and mass shoot and not just do what they were going to do to themselves instead of killing a bunch of people, if that was the case?
Interesting little fact, or theory, I should say, whatever. Very likely true, though. Okay, yeah, back to the right to die thing, 'cause that's a really important topic. Yeah, so what we have now is a fake right to die. It's not at all some kind of human right to die. Absolute nonsense. There's the slippery slope argument where people say, like, oh, if we gave everyone the right to a graceful exit, what about like people getting coerced into it or whatever? And it's like, look, I could apply this shit to like free speech too. I could say like, what if people say things that hurt my feelings or say bad things or whatever the fuck, right? I'm just saying you could apply the slippery slope argument to other types of human rights, and you can kind of quickly understand that, yeah, the price is kind of worth it, right? And then you think about, well, what is the price, right? In the case of right to die, what is the price being paid in these instances where it's abused and misused, right? The price, think about it, is somebody who maybe didn't want to die falls asleep and doesn't wake up, right? That's the big price, quote unquote, price being paid, right? Bullshit. I mean, such nonsense, right? So we're not it's not even really a harm, right? I mean, even if you think it's a harm, fine, okay. But at least understand you're being way too perfectionistic, right? You're being absurdly perfectionistic. Nothing in this world is perfect, right? So you're basically saying we can't have the right to die until it's literally perfect, which is not pragmatic at all, right? You're not being pragmatic at all. It's a non-argument. It's an absolute fucking non-argument. So complete bullshit that we don't have a right to die, especially considering the fact that
veganism. The website too says, what group of philosophies does this all relate to? Negative, I can't even say that. Utilitarianism, euphemism, abolitionist, veganism, basically philosophies that have realized religion is retarded, but that there is objective value in the universe, and it lies in the harm of being experienced by sentient beings. I wonder if something bad happened to him when he was a kid or when he was growing up. And I can't believe they got YouTube pages for this shit. How these YouTube pages exist? Because these people are giving me a hard time, harassing me every left and right. You know, they want to demonetize all this shit. They got channels and videos about this. What the hell? You better, wow, this is kind of crazy, a little scary. You don't want to be around somebody like that or date somebody like that. Jesus, they look crazy. This one guy, this is not the bomber, by the way, but this one guy, this one of the websites, and look at this guy. One of the websites that donotgod.com.
All right, time for another donotgod.com video presentation. Yes, featuring me. Again, trying to explain why I would argue it is bad to create living, feeling things. Feeling, living things. Things that feel, whether they're alive or not. That it's just wrong to support the creation of these monstrosities, monsters, beasts, machines. And frankly, that's what they are. Because they will inevitably
Trump said he smoked for 60 years.
endure.
Yo, and it's like even my whole mood has changed just listening to these people, listening to the audio. It's really life draining when you talk to people like this. It like sucks the energy out of you. And I feel the energy just hearing this guy and the other guy like draining me, hear my essence. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like it's put me such in like a down kind of
sensations, events, okay, that will be decidedly negative in their effect on their sentient consciousness, and there really isn't any compensation, okay, for fixing. There's no way to fix it or to exchange something of comparable positive value, because the comparable positives are kind of preposterously exaggerated, trivial positives by fair comparison. The little chortles and fun of life, your sneezes, don't add up to enough bliss to arguments about how to crash the car. Everybody's real fact is that through this process of billions of interactions inside of your body, the fact is you do produce consciousness. you produce this sense of awareness. Your brain produces this illusion that, there's a sensation. And the fact is you can't deny its existence because you're experiencing it. So it does work, but it's not a thing, it's an event. So you could argue that a lot of physics is like that, like a photon hitting a surface. It isn't a thing doing something, it's an event happening between things. And that's our consciousness. It's an event.
All right, let's get a wrap up with this.
Out here without your consent in the first fucking place. The least this fucking goddamn society could do is give people a right to a graceful way out. Not force them to jump off a goddamn building or shoot themselves in the fucking head or strangle themselves. Pretty common method. Whatever the fuck. Drink sodium nitrite. I know people think getting shot in the head and drinking sodium nitrite, these methods are considered like nice or better methods or whatever, but they're really not. I mean, getting shot in the head, pretty messy. Also, like, yes, it's easy to put the gun to your head, but like actually pulling the trigger, little scary, I must say. And the sodium nitrite thing, that's become a popular method, obviously. It's not like it's not completely peaceful. It does make your stomach feel pretty shitty, and I'm just saying it causes some pretty, kind of gross symptoms. So yeah, fuck these assholes that would say like, oh, you can just shoot yourself, you do have a right to die. I've heard people say shit like this. It's such a myopic fucking view. It's so shitty. So insensitive. Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh God. Okay. What else? Yeah, so I guess maybe I should talk a bit about IVF. I mean, obviously I'm very against it. It's extremely wrong. I mean, these are people who are having kids after they've sat there and thought about it. How much more stupid can it get? I don't know. I guess you can make the argument like, well, at least they're thinking about it and at least they're planning it and all that. It's like, yeah, that is something, I guess, but at the same time, again, you still can't get their goddamn consent. So you're not getting around that argument, not rationally. So basically, I'm anti-life, right? And IVF is like kind of the epitome of pro-life ideology, right? So yeah, fuck IVF clinics, and fuck the people that work for them, quite frankly. Ignorance is not really an excuse. I know, because I know people are gonna say like, oh, they haven't even thought about what they're doing or whatever, and it's like, yes, that's sad and all, but like, again, if a guy is going around raping people and is like actually retarded and doesn't understand what he's doing, right? Does that mean you don't punish him still? You don't like lock him up still or something? No, it doesn't mean that. You still have to take action, right? You still have to do something about it. So it's just, unfortunately, intent. Like, I do care about intent, but unfortunately, in reality, it doesn't mean a whole lot, I want it to mean a lot. I used to believe it was everything, but in the last few years, I kind of started to realize, like, no, unfortunately, intent it means so little. And so even if you're causing harm and you don't know that you're causing harm, you still have to be dealt with. You know what I mean? So just an unfortunate, reality.
Well, so he sees it as wherever there's collateral damage.
Nell, sorry I broke you. Rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing. Here's for some milk.
Naomi, thank you so much. Thank you for the 7.
Anyways, let's see, what the hell else did I write down? Yeah, I wrote down, like, these people, like, when they push life on you, like, especially when you're like a suicidal person, and they start pushing life on you, it's like the games these fucking people are trying to push on you, these life games you're trying to push, aren't even good games, right? It's just like, oh, consume, be a fucking consumer, right? Pay for the factory farms to rape the fucking animals, these are the fucking games you're
It's like you said, it's like these vegan people
playing as humans. It's sickening. Fuck these games. Why the fuck would I want to play these fucking games? It's absolutely absurd. Nobody intelligent would want to play these stupid fucking games. I feel like I'm surrounded by fucking ghouls. Okay, what else? I wrote down, I already said this, but I kind of wrote it in a kind of a nice way, so I'm gonna read it, even though I've already said this. I said, children cannot consent to being born, therefore you do not have consent. The act of bringing someone into this world is a non-consensual act and is reminiscent of rape. Now, in my mind, I really strongly consider it rape. I know some people are going to have an issue with me calling it that, so the way I worded it is very precise. I said it's reminiscent of rape, meaning I see a similar mindset, okay, in the people that are doing it.
But I don't understand, too. It's like, why is he so worried about his words and who it's going to offend? And ad hominem, and I don't want to word it like this and that. If in your head none of this matters and there's no purpose, we should all be gone. Why do you care about your words and creating some type of safe space when you talk and not offending people? What?
Okay, that's what I'm saying. To be very specific. So let's see. I wrote down, these topics are too important for me to accept people ignoring them. And I said, I don't actually believe people are ignoring them. I think people who have control over the internet are censoring these topics by shadow banning people who talk about them. And then, of course, also, all the algorithms that are in control now that are used to kind of manipulate what people see, what, kind of what they think.
Okay, JLR said that guy Edward Bartkus lived with a woman named Diane Bartkus. Could be his mom or grandmother. She's 63 years old. Mama? Could it be Mama's love?
I think it's pretty effective. I won't say it's like crazy effective. I don't think people are like completely retarded and like incapable of knowing when they're being kind of manipulated and fucked with. People kind of have an idea of when they're being fucked with, and they kind of resist it. And so, but I'm just saying, clearly it does work to some extent, There's clearly a lot of like coercion going on, trying to get people to make babies and have more kids and shit. There's a lot of that going on, and a decent chunk of people their brains do it works for them, basically. It works on them, but there's still a lot of people, I think, that are saying like, nah.
It's like a episode of Black Mirror.
No, fuck this, I'm not having kids, this is stupid, even with all, in the last few years, all this manipulation going on the internet and all the censorship going on, in the last few years, it's become so fucking extreme. I mean, like YouTube comments, for example, you can't say fucking anything now in YouTube comments. It's so goddamn bad. If it isn't in line with their narrative, it just gets,
they're not as bad as the other ones, but
they aren't even shadow banning. Like, they just straight up fucking remove comments. Like, it's so wild. I mean, they do shadow ban. I'm just saying, they also often just straight up remove your comment and they don't even try to hide it from you. Like, it's wild. Anyways, so the censorship, all this stuff really has got me quite upset. I really must say how badly they fucked the internet it's really upsetting, because the internet really is important for people to communicate and whatnot. Get together, form. I'm just saying, like, people who have similar beliefs obviously are going to use the internet to try to come together, and they're fucking with that, and that's really upsetting to me. So, anyways, yeah, I know there's assholes that are going to be like, oh, stop being online so much. It's like, dude, fuck you. The internet is really important. Quit pretending it's not, quit pretending like it's nothing. It's, such bullshit. Let's see. Okay, that's about all I wrote down. So, yeah, fuck pro-lifers. Fuck pro-life ideology. There's absolutely no rational reason to be pro-life. It's a zero-sum game. It only causes harm. It's all it's capable of producing is harm. It can't produce anything objectively good. It's never going to do that. Fuck transhumanism. Crazy shit. Absolute nonsense. And yeah, so I guess I would be considered a pro-mortalist. I don't like that word, that name, I guess, pro-mortalist, because for people that don't think too deeply about it, they're going to get the impression that, like, that means I'm pro-dying, and
That's what it seems
That's
like.
not exactly the case. Like, I understand, obviously, there's many ways to die that are very bad and painful. So that's pretty negative and shitty, obviously. I'm pro non-existence is what I am, right? So that is what pro-mortalism is. But obviously, I'm just saying pro-mortalism can make people think that, like, you're, like, some kind of sadist or something who wants to, like, cause
like
death, destruction, and whatnot. And it's like, no, that's not the case. I know you're gonna think, how ironic, because I'm causing destruction and possibly death, and it's like, I'm only doing this because I feel like it's what I have to do to get people's fucking attention and to let the world know, like, yes, I'm fucking serious about this shit. You have to take this seriously. Fuck you, you know, because I can't go on the internet and talk about this shit anymore. I can't find people anymore on the fucking internet because they've completely goddamn censored it. So I really feel like I'm being severely fucked with personally, you know, in so many fucking ways. By, you know, not having the right to a graceful exit, and then again by being completely censored and manipulated by the internet. I mean, the manipulation doesn't really work on me, but the censoring obviously does. They're actually pretty hard to get around, especially with all the fucking AI shit now being used to censor people, right? So like now you can't even like sneakily make comments anymore because AI understands context, you know? So like it's really fucking bad now. The censorship is really bad in the last few years. So it's very, very upsetting to me. It really fucks with me. I hate it. So, you know, I think Elon Musk banned the words like antinatalism on Twitter, and what else? Well, that's the main one, I guess, right? Antinatalism. So yeah, fuck Twitter. It's a shithole now, I guess, but I never really used it in the first place. But anyways, yeah, so that's basically it. I genuinely feel like it takes like basically these topics are they're way too fucking important for it to be censored and ignored, and
it's important. If nothing matters to you, just
like they need to be put on blast. Like people need to be thinking and talking about these issues because they really are big issues.
Or is it just misery loves company? So you want everybody else to be in hell with you, in the shithole, you know, like just down with you. Supposedly, this is the address. Adobe Road. They got a road named Adobe? Adobe Road. Let's see. Oh, it looks like a shack. They're out in the desert. They're saying supposedly 5535. This is crazy, man. I thought I was sharing the screen with you guys. Thank you so much for the 20. Thank you so much for the 20. The cars are. Okay, the cars are says we must stop normalizing extreme identities without tracking or tackling underlying mental health issues. Social contagion and cultural amplification can worsen distress. We have to stop normalizing. It's going to get worse. Yeah, I didn't know this was a thing. Like there's a whole movement of this. YouTube pages. There's people that believe this, and they all, I guess, like they feel like lost and what's the point of life kind of thing, like an existential crisis and all this stuff, and the whole life becomes about the focus of like not being alive or something. Wow. That's another thing you got to add to the list to look out for with these kids, or you're dating somebody. I don't want to date you. What the hell? Imagine dating somebody like that. That's got to be fucking miserable. That's the point. What's the point? And then he was saying, like, I don't have to go out. People try to invite me. Just don't go out then. There's a lot of people that love being homebodies. Stay home. You don't have to go out. 25 years old. And there's so much left in life for you to do, to turn your life around, to change things, to improve. There's just so many things could happen. I mean, things happen in a year drastically and change a lot of things. I don't know, man. It's bizarre. This is real. It's almost hard to believe it's real.
Issues. And before you say, oh, it's just your life that's shitty, you know, that's why you care so much. No, I've just spent this entire recording explaining to you, like, objectively why life is bad, and it's causing harm, and so it's not just about me. It's pretty clear that I care about all sentient life, right? All the feelings going on Earth. So yeah, just complete bullshit. I mean, that's like the main reason why I feel like shit all the time, is because I'm aware of all the harm occurring.
So you're an empath, like all these people. You're an empath. You feel everything everybody else is feeling, and the only way for you to not feel what everybody else is feeling is for everybody to be passed away, and so the world doesn't suffer anymore. That's your answer to it, I guess.
To other fucking sentient beings, you know, all the animals being raped in farms, and even, you know, by nature itself, obviously.
And then he's talking about these animals, which, yeah, there's some of them, or a lot of them are in horrible conditions, but it goes back to like that veganism stuff that she mentioned. Some of these people just go eat something, man. If this is where it's going to lead you, the deficiencies, or have some blood work done. You know, be proactive. Don't just sit there for hours and hours and just sit there, you know, going into the shit and psychology and philosophy and spending your whole life in this fucking whirlwind of bullshit. Get up and do something. Well, I guess he did. I guess you could say he did, but that's not what I mean. You know, go do something positive. Change your life around, man. Go get I don't know, eat something. Go date. Go get a hobby. Spend all this time, I don't know, working on a business or some shit, or I don't know, anything. I don't know what happens after we die, but I'm going to try to make the best of it, enjoy it. And when you have a kid too, that's something you're leaving behind, man. You know, that's that changes for some people, adds value to your life and purpose. You know, this is crazy, man. And maybe this is a mental health thing. Maybe this is a mental health thing that's not diagnosed. You know, maybe he should have gotten some help. I don't know about his family, his mother, gotten some help or something, talk to somebody. He said he didn't want to take pills. I guess they were trying to, I don't know if they tried to prescribe him some pills or something. Say he didn't want to take drugs. And desperately seeking attention. And the only way to get it, kind of almost a clout chaser. Desperately seeking attention. And the only way he can get attention is to blow himself up.
Nature isn't nice. What it's doing isn't nice, obviously. And obviously, and also I'll make this clear, like, yes, I'm a vegan, but...
Oh, God. Yo, go eat something. This is crazy. What's wrong with these people? Where's my horn? I thought you were kidding, Naomi. I thought you were joking. The fuck is this? I don't care if they get mad at me. I know I'm going to get some comments. I don't care if they get mad at me, man. If you start going off the deep end, you need to at least go to the doctor and get some, you know, blood work done or something and find out if you're running deficient on something. I noticed I'm not saying all of them are like that, but I noticed some of them that they're like very rabid and like angry and shit. And they're like constantly like very angry at people because of what they're eating and stuff.
I understand that the harm being caused by nature is way, way larger than anything humans are doing, right? I'm upset about the factory farm shit just because I feel like we should really know better. You know, like we have the ability to recognize harm, and we're just completely squandering it, you know, and then we consume it in such disgusting quantities and in such disgusting ways. I mean, it's just so, you know, it's just so sickening in every way. Everything about meat eating and you know, not just meat, but really, you know, all the animal products too, you know. Anyways, what was I saying? Okay, so... Okay, I think this explains it pretty well. I think anyone who listens to this has a pretty good idea now of why I've done this and why I do believe it's justified, and I'm not getting off on it. I won't even be alive to witness it. So this isn't like me getting off on anything. You can't sit there and be like, oh, he's getting off on this, he wants attention or whatever. I mean, yes, I want attention, but it's not for me personally, okay? It's for objectively important fucking causes, okay? I think it'll be pretty clear to anyone listening that, like, I'm doing this because I care, and because I can see how important these issues are, and the fact that they're being censored by this ghoulish society that we live in, you know, that just wants to keep this system running. And so obviously it has to obviously people can't be operating in some kind of honest mode. Their brain can't be operating in truth or honest mode, because if it were, they would see how pointless it all is and they wouldn't continue this stupid system, right?
It's like I mean, with the vegan stuff, I'm kind of being a little facetious somewhat. I sometimes joke around about that. This is definitely some type of, mental health, mental whatever you want to call it. He put on this website, if this is all real, if we're not being trolled, if this is all real, on the website it says, what finally put you over the edge, ? I've known for years now I wasn't going to allow myself to make it past the 20s. Recently, my best friend unalived herself, even though this guy's used the word so many times, this video is getting demonetized to hell. She got the guy, she offed herself, she got the guy she was living with to shoot her while she was sleeping, her preferred method. And I don't think I really knew how much it was going to affect me. I've never related to anyone so much and can't imagine I ever would again. We're both anti-sex. Don't mistake for asexual. I'm talking like anti-sex. Oh, I guess there's a Reddit thing, anti-sex. And Miss Andress? What the hell is Miss Andress? Miss Andress. Okay, I have to look that up too. What the hell is this? Miss Andress? Oh shit, I almost put this guy's address. Not that it really matters, I guess, anymore, but what is that? Miss Andress. I feel like too, some of these people, they just come up with so many terms that make up so many different unknown things, definitions, because it just makes them feel special or some shit. They just go with all this bullshit, these labels to make them feel unique and special. I don't even know what half of this shit is that they're talking about. And then there's Veg Antinatalist. Well, okay, what's that? Veg Antinatalist? I don't even know. I try to put it in the search thing. The search thing can't even decipher it. Let's try this one. Veg Antinatalist. Gives me nothing. It's got to be like a troll or something. No, it's something. It's a mashup of two ideologies. Veganism, the ethical stance that we should avoid using or harming animals, typically for reasons of animal rights. And then antinatalism is the belief that bringing new life into existence, especially human life, is morally wrong. So vegan natalist. Okay, whatever, man. This is ridiculous. All right. Both also had borderline personalities disorder. Anyways, we got along quite well. So what is this anti-sex? They just okay. What is anti-sex? They just hate sex? What's the reason behind it? Is that also, are they still yeah, they incels too? Is that This is when someone holds a moral or ethical opposition to sex, often based on religious beliefs, celibacy, purity culture, philosophical arguments that sex objectifies or harms people, antinalist views where sex is seen as a mechanism, okay, that leads to reproduction, therefore suffering. Oh, because the suffering, bro, man, this guy. So he was a virgin or what? Is that all he needed, man? What the hell? A personal lifestyle choice, celibacy, asexuality, but he said it's not asexual. So I guess that would go against his beliefs to have sex, because then that could cause reproduction, which would lead to harm. Just like eating meat or anything, if he eats a piece of meat or burger, a chicken nugget, that chicken nugget came from harm, and that causes pain, so he won't eat that. So the guy doesn't have sex. He doesn't eat. He doesn't rub one. Does he rub one out? Can that count? None of this stuff, because anything he does, he's in a plastic bubble. Breathing air is breathing out carbon. Was it dioxide? Carbon dioxide, and so that's hurting something somewhere. And when you walk out your door and you step on an ant, then now you're suffering. So now you're walking barefoot, and you don't drive a car because the carbon emissions, and so you walk everywhere, and you don't use technology because whatever, people in China or in sweatshops suffering and jumping out of buildings. I mean, where does this stop? It's just crazy.
So the system itself, the only way it can continue running is to get people to not see the truth, to hide the truth from them, basically, right? To manipulate them, to be consumers and all this shit, right?
You think it's fake?
That's literally what it has to do to continue existing, right? It has to lie to you and push lies onto you, and push addictions onto you and whatnot. So Anyways, okay, so I think this is good. I know it's very rambly. I'm sorry. I'm just, I guess, I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. I think it's a decent explanation. It's all very rational. And one more thing I want to add, because I know there's going to be like these assholes that like are like, oh, well, he clearly, it's all about his feelings and whatnot. Like, yes, obviously this is strong. I feel strongly about these things. Yes. Just because someone has feelings about something does not make it irrational, right? Obviously the feelings are just your brain's way of making you aware of some computation it's done, right? So your brain does some computation, and then it, based on the result, you see the outcome, the result, as a feeling, right? And now then, yes, obviously it's also important to then apply logic, so sit there and actively think about why you're feeling the way you're feeling, right? To make sure that it makes sense, right? And I've clearly done that, right? I've clearly sat here and thought a lot about my feelings and why I feel the way I do and whatnot. And so you really can't say like, oh, well, he, you know, anyway, I'm just saying these assholes that say like, they don't, I guess people don't say this, but I can tell like a lot of people think this way. Like they don't like people who feel strongly about things. And it's just, fuck you. Fuck you. Such bullshit, you know. Yeah, okay. Anyways, I think that's good. I think that's enough. A little add-on bit here regarding pro-mortalism. Just, yeah, something I think is a really important argument, I guess, to make in regards to pro-mortalism for all the assholes that try to make it out to be evil or some bullshit like that, is that we're not the ones making death happen at all, right? All a pro-mortalist is saying is like, hey, let's make the death thing happen sooner rather than later in life, right? We're just changing the date at which it happens. That's all we're trying to do, right? But you recognize that, you know, once you exist, death is a guarantee, right? It's gonna happen. So the pro-mortalist isn't making a death happen. That's a bullshit way to think about it. That's a dishonest and untruthful way to think about it, right? The truth is the parents are the ones making the death happen, right? They're the ones making you exist in the first place, which then guarantees a death, okay? So parents are the real killers here, okay? They're the real ones imposing harm and suffering and some kind of death process onto people. All a pro-moralist is saying is, hey, let's make it happen sooner rather than later, so that way you experience less of life's bullshit, right? Less of this silly fucking zero-sum game, right? So yeah, important argument, you know, to make to people who again try to make pro-mortalism out to be evil or some bullshit like that. It's these people are just, if they hear this argument and they still disagree, they're being dishonest, basically, because again, all this shit is really simple to understand.
All right, that was the end of his audio. So there's a breaking incident. I'm pulling up some information. We might jump on it for a little bit and cover it. You just pull this up right here. We'll start on your stream. This guy though, I don't know if it's real or not. Damn, this is ridiculous. You can't even look at this stuff. It's a pro-mortalist. Man, I don't know what's up with those promoters. So they got like triple. They so those people like check off everything in the mark too. They're vegans and incel and anti this, anti that. Can't walk outside. Can't eat anything. No wonder you're so miserable and shit. That's crazy, man. And these people got YouTube pages and communities and all kinds of shit like the incels. That's the best casualty event.
What are you doing? Imagine you rent the boat tonight and then it just fucking collapses the second it takes off the dock.
Okay. So what is that? How's that a Mexican Navy ship? That's a Navy ship? That shit looks like a party boat. That's a Navy ship? So from like in the 1940s. Who are they gonna go attack with that wooden Pirates of the Caribbean shit? All right, let's launch the other live. Let's see if we can find anything else about this. I don't know if there's live streams out there. I'm ready to move on from the pro Natalist guy, whatever he is. Man, that shit is draining, dude. That shit is somebody. They need people out there like that. Need some help. They need to get some resources. I don't know if there's a diagnosis for that in the DSM-5. You know, on a serious note, like for real, you know, like that's crazy, dude. And get out of the house. That's crazy. All right, find me some more information too, if we can. Can we find more information about this boat? Let's see. It says mass casualty. I don't understand why it says mass casualty. That's weird. People get hurt or something? Looks like they just kept going. Here's the thing. A tall training ship. This is a training ship. I see an article from a day ago. Is this from old? Dock that Pier 17 is open for free tours. I don't know. Oh no, this article just says it docked. There it is. Here's the article. Yeah, they just posted it. All right, I guess let's do it. I don't really know if there's anything. All right, I'll transfer you guys. We'll check it out. I guess we'll see if there's something about it. I'm really weirded out by this thing. This guy promoter list. I really didn't know that was a thing. So, all right, I'm gonna transfer you guys over. We'll hop on and we'll check it out. All right.